The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi peeps, can you all hear me first of all? There's a chat box on the bottom right that you can chat, you can write what you want. So that's the first time I use this software, to be honest. A bit confusing. Let me type. Can you all hear me and see me? So guys, can you all hear me and see me? I'm gonna check that myself. Okay, so you can see me. Someone just messaged me saying that. Brilliant. So let's wait for, it's still not even 7 yet. Let's wait for 5-10 more minutes so everyone can get in. And I am still trying to understand the software, to be honest. So guys, till everyone else joins, I want you to write all your questions in the chat box or the question box. So on the right hand side, you can see a lot of rows. One of them says questions, another one says chat. Use whatever. I want you to write your questions down because that's why I'm here, to answer them. Go to question pane, okay? Fine, okay. Just say great. Let's see if you guys get that. To be honest, I think Zoom was a lot easier to use, but it was limited. I think I I could have only used it for like 40 minutes, and I know that webinar is going to take longer than that, so I had to compromise. Chat. Let's open the chat. So for everyone that is here already, again, just put your questions in the question box or the chat box because eventually I'm going to be answering them. So it's 7 exactly now, but I will give it a few minutes because, as you know, to use that, what's it called, GoToWebinar viewer, you have to actually download it. I didn't know this, so I know people will take time, and I'm sure not a lot of people will actually be able to download it, so it's my fault. I didn't know that. Nikki, what would you eat before a football match? Okay, I'll answer that. Also, I got a lot of questions already asked in messages, comments, and stuff like that that I want to answer. But obviously, I'm not sure if these people that ask these questions are watching or here. So your questions are the priority. So anyone in the chat right now, anyone in the webinar, they will get the questions answered first. And if time allow us, I'll answer the rest of the stuff. There is a lot of stuff here. Why does someone blood sugar rise when not eating or drinking anything? Okay. Just want to know, what does insulin cause weight gain? What supplements, vitamins do you take to support your diabetes? Did you have to get qualifications to be able to become a coach? Of course. So that's the second part. But I'm gonna answer all questions at once. So we've got 13. I think I have, I don't know, I would 60 something, 70 something people that registered. But I would say we can start once we reach maybe 25, 30, because not a lot of people attend. I know that for sure. More questions coming in. All right, let's see what else. What supplements, vitamins? Oh, I just answered that. We are 16 now. I found that ALA tablets helped with control when I'm going to the gym. Okay, we can discuss that. Let me try to mute my WhatsApp. How do I mute it from here? 1 second. I am failing to mute my WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum, brother. It's me, Ibrar. Thank you for kindly inviting me today. You are very welcome. Hopefully you benefit from this. What's the time now? So 2 more minutes. So it's 5 past, and then I'm starting regardless of the numbers. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to work. Compiling a lot of the questions that I've been asked, I know that a lot of I've got my notebook here with the questions. I know that a lot of people. So John said, "Hello, I can't see the questions people ask." Look, John, go on the. You see that that column that you have. One of them says questions. Click on it. It's gonna open it for you. Then you can see the questions and you can ask your own. Okay. What I was gonna say is all the questions basically revolve around how to diet if you have diabetes, how to control it, of course, how to grow, insulin resistance, kids, how to manage your kids if they have diabetes, whether they're young or teens, and how to train about how to control your diabetes around sports. So I'm gonna be briefly discussing that before answering any questions, because you might find your questions getting asked during this anyway, and then I'm gonna give you all the time to answer your questions. Is Toju better than Lantus? That's an interesting question. I'm gonna be answering that. So let me try to. How do you stick to diet since you must have lows, of course? Do you even your carbs after eating something sweet to get your sugars higher? Okay. Are there any supplements that helps you keep sugar better? How do you manage to keep your sugars in normal range training heavily? Okay, cool. So John, the person who asked, can you see the questions now? Or maybe I'm the only one that can see your questions, actually. I think so. Guys, can anyone see the questions that I'm reading, by the way? Oh, okay. So I'm the only one that is seeing the question. So I'm going to read the question out loud and then answer it, okay? So, no, it's like the question box is solely mine. Yeah, okay. I get it, guys. My bad. Again, I am as clueless as everyone here because I've never used this software before. So yeah. Let me see if there's a way for you to actually see the questions. Show answered questions. Yes. Okay. Send privately. Send to all. There are no settings. Right. So 6 past. I'm gonna stop. And there's more questions here, so I'm just going to put the questions on the side for now. Keep on asking your questions. I'm just going to put them aside. I'm going to read them all. So, as most of you know, my name is Khalid Keshta. On Instagram, I'm known as Mr. Keshta. I want to welcome you here, and what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to give you a brief description, a brief, explanation of some of the important stuff that you're meant to know, and then answer your questions. But before doing this, I'm going to do something in case you cut out. First thing I want everyone to do is to sign up for a platform called Diabetes Academy. A lot of people here signed up for it already, or a lot of people know about it. It's my platform. Reason I want you to sign up for it is it's for free, and any content that I make is on it. Any content that I create, Instagram, YouTube, for contents for other companies, diabetes companies, I publish it on it. So it's like a good way to have access to all my blogs and videos and all that, because sometimes I'm not able to answer all your questions in the chat or the social media. So what I did is, this is the link for it. Okay, I just put the link for it right here. Where did I put? Did I answer a question for it? So I'm gonna send it to everyone here. This is the link. Okay. I hope you all got it. If you didn't get it, again, I'm just gonna put it in the chat box, not the questions. Send. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, if just in case after the webinar, hopefully you guys all get your answers and you get the guidance that you need. If you didn't get that, then there is an option of me helping you individually. So as you guys might know, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a diabetes specialist, I'm a certified nutritionist. So what I do is I don't just train my clients. 80% of my clients, they have diabetes, and what I do is that I monitor and track their diabetes with them. I make sure that they get the good control, the full control over their diabetes before they even start doing a workout or a diet plan. And that's why a lot of my clients, they used to train with people, with good personal trainers or nutritionists, but they don't have diabetes, and that made the difference. Is that if you're training with someone that has diabetes, then it's a different league. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link in case you still need help. I am here to help you on an individual basis, and this is actually my job. That's what I do. So it's meant to be here, platform. Let me just get to the link. Here we go. So again, I'm just going to put it in a question, and I'm going to put it in a there you go, in the chat box. Guys, again, I apologize for this weird software that I'm using. It's I don't know, too complicated, I think. Okay. I can see all the questions. Don't worry, guys. Right. So let's start. The main purpose, answer your questions. Let's start with actually that we all know that. Okay, good. I see people signing up for the Diabetes Academy now. We all know what diabetes is. We all know what type 1 diabetes is. It's an autoimmune disease that we are not responsible for. None of us. Okay. So whoever, if for some reason whoever is watching this is embarrassed or I mean, I get if you're unhappy, but if you're embarrassed or shy or ashamed of it, don't be, because we're not the reason for it. No one is. No one caused it. Okay. What is the difference between someone that has diabetes and someone that doesn't? Most of you know this, that we don't produce insulin as much or at all, or we have insulin resistance. So I'm talking about all types of diabetes. And for your reference, there isn't only 2 types of diabetes. There's about 10 or 11 or 20. There is a lot of types. Okay. And a lot of people, they get misdiagnosed. Okay. So you're not guaranteed to be type 1, to have type 1 diabetes. You might have a derivative from that. Okay. And this, you can see that depending on your control. So if you're trying everything that you can do, but you're not getting, your diabetes, your blood sugar in control, you might have something called brittle diabetes. You might have something called double diabetes. You might be type 1.5 diabetes, not type 1. So there's a lot of stuff that we can get into, and I can discuss all of it. And again, all of this is on Diabetes Academy, just in case I miss out on it or you need to know more about it. So the main questions that I have, and as I said, I have my notebook right here, is something regarding diet. What diet should a diabetic follow? And how do you train around it? How do you gain muscle? Like someone already asked that question. So someone asked it in the chat box and in my notebook right here. How do you train avoiding the hypos? Or how do you diet while you're having hypos? Let me just go to the questions again. Let me just bring it out. Here we go. Yeah, so how do you diet while you're having hypos? Well, thing is, you have to understand the difference between someone that has diabetes and someone that doesn't have diabetes, and then apply the same diet that you would give or that you would do if you don't have diabetes. Okay, so again, we now know we have a problem with our insulin, right? What does that mean? That means that we have a problem with our blood sugar levels. If you have a problem with your blood sugar levels, if your blood sugar is high most of the time, your body gets in a catabolic state. What does that mean? It means that your body is breaking itself, breaking its tissues, breaking its fats to be able to provide you with energy. If you all remember when you or your loved ones got diagnosed, at the start, we lost a lot of weight, including myself. You guys saw my picture on Instagram. I put it for Diabetes Week. I don't know how much I weighed, but I look like a stick. Why? Because anything that I eat, my body is unable to use. What happens is the body uses whatever sources in our system to be able to function, to live. Because just me sitting down, not even talking, there is a lot of functions happening in my body that requires energy. So what does our body do? It uses what's inside. What's inside? Fats, protein from muscles. Anything could be broken down. Obviously, glucose can't be used because the insulin is not working. So you can't get the glucose inside the cells. But fats doesn't need insulin. Protein, not necessary. All protein, you already have it in the form of muscle, so it gets broken down. So that's the difference between someone with diabetes, someone without diabetes, is the blood sugar levels. Okay. Now this is, I said what happens if you go hyper. What if you go hypo, low in blood sugar? How do you treat it? You take simple sugars. So if you are on a diet, you're going to ruin the diet. No one puts really, like no nutritionist or a dietitian would put, oh, you're going to have three bags of Haribos a week, or you're going to have like a non-diet Coke or something. It doesn't exist. So this means that if you're following the diet plan, you're going to mess it up. Also, constant hypoglycemia would affect your central nervous system. What is the conclusion of what I'm trying to say here is that if our blood sugar is in control, we're not consistently hyper, we're not consistently hypo, that would actually make our body function like any non-diabetic out there. And then we can talk about the diet plan. Get what I mean? So before asking yourself, which diet should I follow? Well, you gotta be able to put your blood sugar in range first. Okay, can you put your blood sugar in range from the diet? So use food to have better control in your blood sugar. Of course, yes, of course you can. And it's all dependent on your target and on the type of diabetes that you have. So someone with type 2 diabetes is not gonna necessarily have the same diet as someone that has type 1 diabetes. But what I want to say is, and let's just, because I know that the majority of the people here are here for type 1 diabetes, is that there isn't a specific diet that someone with type 1 diabetes needs to follow. So you see online a lot of people glorifying the keto diet, a lot of people glorifying the vegan diet, saying that, you know, animal protein causes inflammation, therefore it causes insulin resistance. And the keto says that, oh, if glucose elevates the blood sugar levels, then why have it from the start? Other people, they glorify the ultra low fat diet, high carb diets, saying that fats cause insulin resistance, therefore we should eliminate it. From my experience, my opinion, and that's actually not even my opinion, it's a fact, all of this is wrong. You don't need to go to any extreme. You need to understand what's in your plate and how does it affect you. So how does it affect your blood sugar levels? I'll give you a very brief example. How many people here in the group, and tell me in the chat box, get affected when they eat protein? So if you measure your blood sugar levels now and you have a piece of chicken or whey protein, does your blood sugar elevate or drop or stays the same? I want everyone here to actually tell me and put it in the chat box, and let's see if we get different answers or not. This is just to prove my point that no one is the same when it comes to these stuff. So Alex here said yes, definitely. Straight away, Alima said no, stays somewhat the same. Bobby says it goes up depending on what is being marinated with. Faiza said, I don't have any effect with protein. Sarah said, yeah. You see, it's like a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. That's what I want to reach, is that no diet will work for all. Not everything affects everyone the same way. Okay, and that's why it's all about trial and error. Who else said? So Hisham said, I tested whey protein, iso blueberry, and it affected my blood sugar. Powell, I think it goes a bit higher. John, it goes down. See that? It goes down. Someone said high and someone said it goes down. Dan, protein raises my blood sugar, but a very slow, controllable rate. Fair enough. So to move forward. So we got this out of the way now, that to keep our blood sugar in range, we need to understand what's in our plate, how does it affect us, and we need to know our insulin to carb ratio. So we know how it affects us, but then what? So we know that 50 grams of oats is going to elevate my blood sugar by 5 millimoles per liter. Right. How many units of insulin do I need to inject to get that down? Now, a global issue, and actually, I was gonna say it mainly happens back. So I'm originally from Egypt, and I was gonna say it mainly happens back home, but actually I see it here a lot as well. Is that you get told your insulin to carb ratio? Right, guys, listen to this and quote me for this later. No one can provide you with your insulin to carb ratio, right? No one knows your insulin to carb ratio. No one knows my insulin to carb ratio. Only I know it, and only you know yours. You see all these equations and figures online saying multiply your body weight by, I don't know, your height and the size of the desk that you're sitting on, and I don't know what they say. And in the end, you're going to get your insulin to carb ratio. No. You might start using this as a reference, so that's not a problem, but then you're going to alter it to get the right insulin to carb ratio. Let me open the window because it's boiling hot. Nice. Woo. If anyone here is living in the UK, guys, how is it this hot? Since when is UK this hot? Anyway, I got more messages, just to be fair. Let me just read the... So Dan, protein rate, yeah. Yasin Omar, I can't see the chat. So Yasin, guys, you know, there is a chat box instead of the questions. Does everyone see that? Like on the right, on the same column that we have, at the bottom, there's something called chat. Does everyone see that? Because it seems I'm the only one writing on it. I'm going to say hi now on it. Hi. No? Jean says yes. Yes, but it seems like we can't comment there. Oh, honestly, I shouldn't have used this. File, maybe? Save question log. Options. Attendees can view attendee list. Attendees class question. View. No. No, I can't do it. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna... yeah, I mean, there is a lot of chat going on, but it's only I can see what you're writing, and you can see what I'm writing. So I'm just gonna anything that you write, I'm gonna read out loud for the rest to see. Okay. And again, I apologize for this. Next time it's gonna be Zoom for sure, even though I have to pay for it. So back to, we said insulin to carb ratio. Let me, before we get to the insulin to carb ratio, because I'm going to explain to you quickly, because that's a question I get asked a lot, is how do I calculate my insulin to carb ratio. Let's first talk about, let me just get rid of that chat right here. Okay, that's gone. Just leave. This one needs to leave. Nice. Okay. So the diets. I want to talk about the different types of diets. Not in details, but I said that not all diets would work the same. But I know that a lot of people are advocating, for example, for the keto diet. So, and you've probably heard that. You wanna lower your carbohydrates. Sorry, you wanna lower your carbohydrates to achieve better insulin or blood sugar control. And there's a problem here, because diabetes isn't a carbohydrate illness. We're going to call it an illness, apologize for this, but it's not a carbohydrates illness. Diabetes is a fat illness. What does that mean? So if you have type 1 diabetes, your pancreas is not working, okay? So our beta cells in the pancreas is destroyed, it's not working. So we don't have insulin. But we might have another issue, something called insulin resistance. So when you take insulin, this insulin might not work, or it might not work as efficient because you might be insulin resistant. Now, this is the main issue that people with type 2 diabetes have. But not because we have type 1 diabetes means that we don't suffer from it. In fact, pretty much every one of us, they suffer from insulin resistance on daily basis. So you will, and how do you know that? Is that your insulin requirements in the morning is not the same at night. And I am telling you this, I mean, I know that's this for a fact for everyone here. Majority of the people, even people that don't have diabetes, are more insulin resistant in the morning, okay? Because of the stress hormones that gets induced and produced in the system while we're asleep, okay? And someone did ask that question, so I'm gonna read it and say it. Guys, it's annoying me so much that you can't see what others are writing. If you guys can give me a second, let me quickly search this to see what I can do, because the questions are very important. What is this? What's this even called? Go to webinar view. Okay. So I'm just going to search allow others to see questions. Go to webinar. Go to webinar. Oh, I can do it in a very dumb way. Is I can, if I reply to someone's question, you're going to see the question. So if I go, for example, let me just find the last question that has been asked. I'll just click here, press space, and then send to all. Now you guys, you saw that question, didn't you? whatever question I just sent right now. Oh my God, that is such a long, dumb way. Right, fine, fair enough. Okay. I can see it, but I can't comment. Maybe you have to make it public, the chat. John, there is no way. I just researched. It's so dumb, this thing. But any important question, I'm just gonna press space, reply to it, get out of the way. What's better, Dexcom or Libra? Here we go. Space, send to all. Okay. And when I get to answer the questions, I'm gonna do this. Before answering the question, I'm gonna press space, show it to you. Right. So back to our diet. So we said that is the difference, and that we might have insulin resistance as well, right? Now, a lot of people, they support a keto diet, and a lot of people, they support a high carb diet. Like, let's break it down. What people that support a keto diet, which is basically what is a keto diet? It's a low protein, can you see me now? Low carb, low protein, high fat diet. You get the your energy from the ketones that are broken down from the fat. Okay. Now, this means that there is no carbohydrates in your system. So there is no glucose in your blood, pretty much, right? This means that also that your blood sugar should be in control because there's no glucose, so happy days. But you didn't really fix the problem, you just masked it, because the main issue, the main reason that insulin resistance happen is because of the stored fat, the excess fat in your system, okay? And you don't necessarily need to be obese. You can have visceral fat. You can have fat around organs. You can have fat around cells that is preventing the glucose and insulin to get inside the cells. Okay? I'm not saying that keto makes you fat. Just bear with me. This is the main issue. So right now we have a cell. We've got some fat cells. We've got some insulin, and we've got some glucose. But the fat cells entered where it's not meant to enter. So the insulin and the glucose can't get in. Now you eliminated the glucose. There's no glucose in the blood now. So there is no need for insulin. So your blood sugar is controlled. But you still have fat in your cells. So you didn't solve the problem. You just masked it. You just put a mask on it. Like, okay, you know what? I have a toothache. I'm gonna go to the dentist. Instead of the dentist removing that tooth, I'm gonna take. He's gonna give me like a painkiller. That's exactly what a keto diet does to you. Okay. Now, am I then an advocate for the high carb diet? Again, no. I'm not. Anything that would cause you to store fat is a problem. Okay. So if you're having excess fat, or you're having junk food or anything that is very fatty, you might end up gaining weight, right? So this means you are kind of what's it called? What is the word? Like making your insulin resistance worse. If you're having high carbs, like a diet full of refined sugars and chocolates and donuts and burgers and whatever, again, the end result is you're gaining fat. It means that you're worsening your insulin resistance. So what are you meant to do? A balanced diet. That's all. So anyone that speaks about a specific diet and they're so extreme when it comes to it, because guys, people that have keto, glucose is the primary source of energy for your brain and for any intense exercise. So if you want to be aware of the surroundings, if you want your brain to work in full function, keto is not for you. Okay. If you want to train hard, to do lifting or high intensity exercises, sprinting or so on, again, keto is not going to work. I'm telling you, go try it yourself. And if anyone is on keto and they say, oh mate, it sorted out my blood sugar levels and I can do this and I can do that, yeah, that's now. That's only now. Wait till your brain suffers, your brain gets hungry, and your muscles. You can't gain any muscle mass with keto, just to let you know. No one on earth can gain any muscle mass using a keto diet. Same with high carbs. High carbs will give you a lot of energy. Carbohydrate. Our body loves carbohydrates. Our body loves glucose. But the problem is, the more carbs, the more insulin you need, the more risk for messing up your insulin. So the more risk of having uncontrolled blood sugar levels. So solution to this, to finish the talk about dieting, is a balanced diet. We need protein as much as we need carbs, as much as we need fat. some vitamins are fat soluble. Vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble. If you're not having fat and you're having these vitamins, it's like as if you're not having these vitamins. And for something like vitamin D, you really need that. Vitamin A, you really need that. Vitamin K for blood clotting, you need it. Okay. Another thing is fats are very important for your joints, for your heart health. Our body is made of protein and fats. People say that carbs is inessential. I'll tell you why people say that, and I'll tell you why they're wrong. Because our muscles are only made of protein and fats. Our muscles is not made of carbs. Our muscles store carbs as glycogen, but they're not made of it. Okay, so this is fats. This is how important fats are. Protein, no need to say. Protein is responsible for the growth and recovery of everything in our body. So definitely, you needed any diet that tells you you need to have low protein. Is like I'm normally I don't attack diets, but any diet that would tell you that you need low protein is a stupid diet. Just don't even bother. Don't even try. It's just stupid. Unless you have kidney issues. Unless you, I'm not telling you to go over the border. So you can have from 0.85 to 2 grams of protein per body weight if you're not a bodybuilder. If you're not a bodybuilder. If you're a bodybuilder, you will need more than that. Okay, because bodybuilders are abnormal. We don't grow normally, right? We need more than this. But the average for a high intensity athlete is 2. Someone that is sedentary, you know, doing nothing in their life, they don't need to grow, they don't need to recover or anything, is 0.85 per body weight, per kilogram per body weight. Okay. Finally, carbohydrates. So someone asked a question. Okay, I'm gonna read this in a bit. Just give me a second. Carbohydrates, as I said, primary source of fuel. Our body loves it. Our muscles. So why did I say that people that say carbs is an inessential macronutrient is because our muscles, they are not made of carbs. They're made of only fats and protein. And that's the only reason that people claim that it's inessential. But do you know the importance of muscle glycogen? Do you know how much we need muscle glycogen to perform any sort of activity? Do you know that muscle glycogen, and by the way, for people that don't know glycogen, glycogen is the carbohydrates that get stored. So when we eat carbs, insulin takes it and it does 4 things. Either use it, so burn it to do the activity that we're doing, or store it as fat, or store it as muscle glycogen, or liver glycogen. Now, do you know the importance of liver glycogen? Liver glycogen is what provides people that don't have diabetes with glucose to balance their blood sugar levels. So it's very important to have liver glycogen inside you. So I prolonged this so much, but anyway, have your protein, have your fats, have your carbs, any age, kids, teens, adults, athletes, anyone needs to have that balance, okay? Quickly, I'm gonna read this. I can see, okay, can I get daily carbs intake from beans, starchy carbs, instead of potatoes, oats, and rice, since I'm not very sensitive to starchy? Okay, that's fine, I'm gonna answer this. So, I think enough said about diets. I'm gonna move on with the next topic, which is, what did I write here? There's a lot of questions. Right, let's move to the insulin to carb ratio. Let me quickly finish that. How do you calculate your insulin to carb ratio? And this is a very, 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 very important topic that I get asked every hour. I'm not gonna even say every day. So I'm gonna say it quickly. Forget all the equations. Forget the physician that told you your insulin to carb ratio is this number. I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to them. Generally, of course, they are educated and they are, I mean, they know their stuff. But one thing they don't know is your insulin to carb ratio, for sure. So what you do, you have to first of all understand if your long-acting insulin is right or not. So if any of you here is suffering consistently of hyperglycemia throughout the day, and they keep on changing their short-acting insulin, have you ever considered changing your long-acting insulin? Have you ever considered increasing it? I'm not going to tell you to do so because I'm not meant to give medical advice and all that, but I do. Like with my clients, just to let you know, just for no one to get surprised, with my clients, I tell them what insulin to take, how much, what to test, what to change. I don't care what people say. I mean, I see the results. Like 100% of my clients, they achieved an enormous difference in their Hb1c and their blood sugar levels. So I see myself thankfully qualified to give that advice. But obviously, because I'm not a doctor, I shouldn't be. I'm not giving you that advice here on the webinar. Okay, you do what you want. That's just my opinion. So first of all, consider changing your long-acting insulin if you're running through a lot of hyperglycemia constantly throughout the days. So how do you do that, or how do you adjust that? It's very simple. The long-acting one is one day you're going to have zero carbs, zero carbs, not a single gram of carbs. Okay, so you can have protein, you can have eggs, fish, chicken, you can have salad. I know it's a bit carb, but have like green veg. What else? Meat. If you're a vegan, you know, a tiny bit of avocado because it does have a bit of carbs and so on. And you are going to take the dose that you normally take. So let's say you take 30 units of whatnot, Lantus or whatever. You're going to take that and you're going to watch the trend throughout the day, because what's the point of actually taking long-acting insulin is to sort out our background blood sugar. So, you know, we have a lot of stress hormones in our body. Okay, it's circulating constantly. This causes elevated blood sugar levels. We take long-acting insulin to tackle that. So what you need to do is you're going to take the same dose that you normally take, check on that day, you're not going to have any carbs, as I said, and then check your blood sugar throughout the day. So it helps a lot if you have, can you see that actually? Oh, I can't see. Well, if you have like a sensor like this, a Libra, a Dexcom, any continuous glucose monitor, because it's going to give you a graph. And then by the end of the day, you're going to look at the graph. If you see that your graph is elevated or is running high, means that the long-acting dose that you're taking is not enough. Do the adjustment. If you go hypo, it means it's too much. Do the adjustment. If it's going high and then normal, then you need to change the timing of it, because if it goes high half day and then normal the rest of the day, if you increase the long-acting, you're going to go normal and then low. You get where I'm coming from? So what you need to do is also play with the timing. Long-acting insulins, they peak differently, right? You get insulin that stays in the body for 18 hours, some stay in the body for 32 hours, and there's a lot of different types that have different peak. They peak in different durations. So we need to understand that. I'm going to read this question quickly. I used to be high and then I started taking a dose of my long-acting in the morning too, and problem fixed. Yes, Bobby. So that's exactly what I just said, timing. So you can change the timing. You can split them as well, or you can split it. Like, actually, you know what? Most of my clients, that's what I do with them at the start, just to get the control, like just split it, morning and evening one. I calculate the insulin units needed if I'm on a keto diet. Right. So long-acting insulin out of the way. Now short-acting insulin. What you need to do, wake up one day, live your life, and then in the afternoon, not in the morning, I'll tell you why not in the morning, you want to get a can of a Coke, a Pepsi. Okay, why am I saying a Coke, Pepsi? Because you can see the amount of sugar in it. You can see the amount of carbs. It clearly says 33 grams of carbs, or whatever it is. It depends on the size, of course. But let's say 30 grams of carbs, okay? And you're going to make sure that your blood sugar at that time is in the normal range. You're going to make sure that you didn't do any sort of activity that would affect your blood sugar levels before that, or that whole day. And what you're going to do is, let's presume, hypothetically, your insulin to carb ratio is 1 to 10. So for every 10 grams of carbs, you take 1 unit of insulin. Let's just assume that. What you want to do is, you're going to drink that Coke and you're going to take 3 units of insulin, because that's what you think is right, okay? And then you're going to measure your blood sugar half an hour afterwards, an hour and a half, 2 hours afterwards. And you're going to, again, see the trend. What happened? Did it go very high and then very low? Or did it go just high and it remained high? Or did it go low, you went hypo? A lot of it will be dependent on you as a person and the type of insulin that you're having and how you get affected by that insulin or that fast acting carbs, okay? So again, as I said, with the long-acting, you're going to modify accordingly. So if it goes high and remains high, it means that your insulin to carb ratio is not enough. It's not 1 to 10. It might be 1 to 8. It might be 1 to 5. So you're going to repeat the test with the new assumption or estimation that you're going to make. Low, you know what to do, drop it. But what happens if it goes high and then goes low? It means that the insulin that you're having doesn't work as fast as you think in your system. So what you need to do, take whenever you have a fast-acting carbs, you need to inject before it, way before it, not like at the same time. And again, goes without saying, the other way, if you go hypo and then hyper, means you inject it too early, so you inject afterwards. So you guys see where I'm coming from when it comes to managing your diabetes, that everything is a trial and error. I'm not gonna lie, it's better for you to have a good, whether it's a good physician, good trainer, good dietitian, good local PT, whatever it is, someone that guides you. Sometimes it gets frustrating, sometimes it gets hard, especially if it's your kid that has diabetes. But this is the way we work around stuff. This is how I managed to get some sort of control over my diabetes, is me trying these stuff. I'm telling you, everyone that I've tried these methods with, it worked 100%. I don't like, no one actually failed, because all of them, they try to listen to what they get told to, or what they see online, and that's the problem. No one is the same. So just to let you know, my insulin to carb ratio is 1 to 5. Is everyone here's insulin carb ratio 1 to 5? And I bet you I'm gonna have like 10 different answers right now. So I used to be high and then I started taking those. Okay, brilliant. Is any exercise safe when your blood sugar is high? Okay. Done with the how to calculate your insulin. I think I'm prolonging my brief description. So I think I'm gonna answer your questions straight away, because we're gonna running out of time. Mine is 1 to 5, and doctor says it's a lot of insulin. Doctor can say what they want. If it works for you, Paul, it works for you. You know, if it's oh wow, someone says okay. So again, I said anything I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna just put it here. Send to all. Send to all. Someone says, where did it go? My ratio is 5 units to 100 grams of carbs. This is like 1 to 20. Okay, wow. Another Pfizer is 1 to 20 as well. Here we go. We're all different. If I listened to the advice that was told to me, which was 1 to 10, I would have been hyperglycemic for the rest of my life. Right. One quick thing that I want to say when it comes to having your carbs, think about the smart option for the carbs that you're going to have. Okay, so don't only think about how it's going to affect your blood sugar levels, also think about how it affects your diabetes. So I'll give you a quick example. People with diabetes, we need our simple sugars. So I need my sweets, I need my drink, I need my glucose to avoid or to treat a hypoglycemia. But if you're not dealing with a hypoglycemia, try to be smart about your choices. A very, very quick example to show you the difference, even though all carbohydrates gets broken down into glucose, I'll tell you exactly how they affect your body differently. Let's compare an apple with a biscuit. The apple and the biscuit both have 60 calories each, okay? But how big is the apple and how small is the biscuit? Number one, the volume, the mass. The apple is a lot denser because it's full of fibers and water. Fiber is a carbohydrate that our body doesn't digest. Humans don't digest fiber. Animals can. We can't. Well, some animals can. So when something is rich in fiber, it's bigger in volume and it doesn't have any calories. Okay. It's got a lot of water. An apple's got a lot of water. An apple's got a lot of vitamins and minerals. That biscuit doesn't have that. The apple, you would never see someone having like 5-6 apples at one go, but I can easily have 10 biscuits in one go. Get the point? Choose your food smartly. You can overeat something that is very unhealthy. And this is unfortunately how this world is. Biscuits are cheap, or anything that's unhealthy is cheap and available, and you can have it anytime, and you can eat billions of it, and all you're going to get is a nutritionally poor piece of product. You're not going to get any vitamins, not minerals, not fibers, not water, and in the end, you're going to consume a lot of calories. So I wanted to say this. It has nothing to do with diabetes, but because we consume a lot of biscuits to avoid or treat the hypo, when we're not dealing with a hypo, let's choose the smart options. Okay, that's for the sake of our body. Okay. So I have a lot of questions here, but I'm gonna answer your questions now. So I'm gonna start from the top. Any questions that I'm gonna answer, I'm just gonna show it to you. Okay, first one. Nikki. Here we go. Did I answer that? No. Send to all. What would you eat before a football match? So just like any other sport, you need something that would give you energy. So something like carbohydrates, obviously, which is what we do, something called carb loading. So with athletes, what you do, you need a lot of carbs to get inside the muscles, to get stored in the muscles, and this is the muscle glycogen that I was talking about. Therefore, if you're on a keto diet, you will be energyless. If you're on a keto diet and you try to play football or do an intense sport, you're gonna find it hard. You're gonna have a hard time. So I would suggest having maybe pasta, bread, rice, oats, some sort of complex carbs that would fill that person up and keep them going. So you want something that would get stored, that is good enough to be stored as muscle glycogen. If you have biscuits or chocolates or candy or anything like that, straight away it's going to get digested and it might be stored as fat, not even muscle glycogen. So what you want before a football game, something complex, and just before the game or during the game, you can have simple carbs. And again, no point to having chocolates or cakes or anything like that. You want to drink. So Allowance, something sugary, that would help. I'm not sure if that person that you're talking about has diabetes or not, but regardless, it's gonna maintain their energy levels. Okay. Why does someone? Okay, let me again space send to all. Why does someone blood glucose rise when not eating or drinking anything? Right, I mentioned, Yassine, the stress hormones in the body. Okay, so most of us, we suffer from something called dawn phenomena. What is dawn phenomena? When you wake up, when you sleep, your blood sugar is in range, and then you wake up, you're very hyperglycemic, and not just hyperglycemic, you're insulin resistant as well. So you wake up and you just like, I didn't even have anything, I was asleep. Stress, mate. Stress hormones in your system tells your liver to dump the glucose in the bloodstream, because the body is a machine. Yeah, I'm just talking about the dawn phenomenon now. Once you wake up, the body thinks, oh, that person is gonna spend a lot of energy, therefore I'm gonna give him some glucose. Or when you're asleep, even stress hormones, one of their jobs is to tell the liver to dump glucose. Could this happen when you're awake? Could happen when you're awake as well. Stress, like you just got a stressful day. That's why they say stress elevates your blood sugar levels. Another thing is insulin resistance. So I mentioned that already. You could be insulin resistant in a specific duration in that day, and you're not for the rest of the day. So you wonder why are you going hyper now and you didn't go hyper before? Why is your insulin needs more than than before? Okay. So hey, I just wanted to know, does insulin cause weight gain? Good question. Insulin by itself doesn't cause weight gain, okay? But what does insulin do? Insulin shoves all the stuff that you eat, all the nutrients in the bloodstream, into the cells. So unless you're going to be moving or you're going to be using what you ate, it's going to be stored in the body. Again, I mentioned that it's going to be either stored as fat or muscle glycogen, okay? Or you're going to use it, as I said. So the question is, does insulin itself cause weight gain? No, but you're using insulin for a reason. So if you're using a lot of insulin, it's one of the two. You either have insulin resistance or you're eating a lot. And if you're eating a lot, it means that you're going to gain weight. And if you have insulin resistance, it means that your body from inside has got enough amount of fat to cause the insulin resistance. I hope my point is clear. Right, so next one, space, send to all. What supplements, vitamins, do you take to support your diabetes? Did you have to get qualifications to be able to become a coach? So did I have to get a qualification? Of course, I had to get a qualification. So I had to get 3 qualifications to be a personal trainer. Okay. Then I had to do 2 tough qualifications to become a diabetes specialist. And the toughest of all actually was to become a nutritionist. That was a long ass course that just took a lot of time. So definitely need a qualification. And I must say as well, I've definitely learned a lot of my knowledge, my education, sorry. But a lot of my knowledge comes from me having diabetes. And that's very important, to talk to someone. So if you're in a gym and in your local gym, you've got a lot of PTs and one of them has diabetes, I'll tell you, go to that person that has diabetes because they understand what you're going through. I'll give you guys a quick example. Maybe she's here watching. I have a client that she tried with a lot of the PTs before and she never found any results. And when I used to see her at the gym, I see her working out so hard. And she is the same shape for like a year now. And I wondered what's going on. She noticed that I have diabetes because of the sensors that I wear and because sometimes I wear like a diabetic coach and so on. She came and spoke to me about it, and I just had a look at her blood glucose graph. She is hyperglycemic all the time, like 0% in range. So there is no way that she would gain muscle or lose fat or reach any sort of target that she wants. But the personal trainer there, they didn't even know this. They didn't even understand it. They don't even understand, oh, diabetes, right? What do you mean by blood sugar graph or hyperglycemia or so on? So yeah, definitely go to someone that has your condition. And this applies to any other condition as well, not just diabetes. What supplements, vitamins do you take to support your diabetes? I don't take anything to support my diabetes, but I take vitamins and supplements to support my health. So everyone take notes. Primary supplements that most of us need: multivitamins, because we don't eat all the vitamins that we have. Fish oil, so omega-3, we need omega-3, and vitamin D. So you take the multivitamins, but you also have an add-on vitamin D because the majority of us has got a deficiency in vitamin D. Depending on your target or how you eat, you might need protein powders. If you're not having enough protein, basically, that's what I mean. What else? Multivitamins, vitamin D. That's it. And your multivitamins need to be a strong one, or you're going to take double or triple or quadruple the dose. And by quadruple the dose, I mean that this is something for you to know. When it says RDA on any product, means recommended daily allowance, and then it gives you like a percentage. Do I have anything here? No, I don't. But actually, it's similar to this. Let me move that question from here. It's kind of similar to the RI here. So it says RDA and then gives you a percentage. So what does it mean is that the recommended daily allowance is X number, and this would give you, let's say, 100% of recommended daily allowance. You would look at it and be like, yay, oh, that's enough, that's 100%. Guys, recommended daily allowance, what they mean is the amount that you need to survive, just for your body to live, just for you to, sit in your seat and just live, okay? Therefore, it's not enough for anyone. Even if you're not active, it's not enough for anyone. So, and this is shocking. I don't understand why they put it there. They should put what you actually need on average, okay? So, of course, if you're an athlete, if you're an old person, if you're a child that is growing, you need a lot more than the RDA. So don't worry, you can consume more than what it says. Right, I'm going to ask the next question. I'm going to answer the next question, but let me scroll down to see if anyone commented. Cool. All right, there's a lot of questions. So next question. I found that ALA tablets help with control when I am going to the gym. So ALA tablets, let me quickly put this. ALA is basically omega-3, okay? It's an essential. Yeah, you need to have it. One of its features is to give you better blood sugar control. Does it work with everyone? I don't know. Or how efficient does it work in terms of controlling your diabetes? It's like a gray area that no one can tell. But if it works for you, that's brilliant. You keep on taking it. And if it doesn't work for you, still take it, because I just said omega-3, guys, is a superior product. We need that. We need that, and not all of us eat fish 3 times a week. And if you don't do that, you need it as a supplement. Okay. Hey, I also want to know if it's okay to guess your carbs and putting just a random units of insulin. Yeah, that's no. What do you? No, you can't put a random units of insulin. Well, guys, look at this. We estimate. Okay, you're not supposed to be a mathematician, right? You're not supposed to walk in the street with a scale and with a calculator and it calculates everything to the point. We take the risk. So if I have that bowl of rice, do you think every time I'm going to measure it? No, I measured it before plenty of times, and not even for diabetes, for bodybuilding, because I have to. But I kind of have an estimation in my head now. All right, this is around 30 grams of carbs, and therefore I'm going to inject about 6 units of insulin. It might end up being 40 grams of carbs. Oh crap, I missed a half a unit or a unit. What am I going to do? I'm just going to take it. That's it. Don't go hard on yourself, okay? Same with if you go hypoglycemic, guys, there's something in my eye. I have hay fever, so excuse me. Same if you go hypo after having something, don't go hard on yourself. We only estimate, okay? Right, next question. Hello, coach. Is Tojo better than Lantus? Short answer, yes. Tojo, you need less than Lantus because it's more potent, so you need less volume. And apparently it works better in terms of controlling your diabetes. I've never used Tojo, but regardless of Tojo, I don't like Lantus. So I'm against Lantus. I'm not a fan of Tojo because I've never tried it, but actually Lantus remains in the system for like 18 hours. They say what they say online, but I know people that has it and use it, and it doesn't stay for 24 hours. How do you stick to diet since you must have lows? Do you even your carbs after eating something sweet to get your sugars high? So Pavel, this depends on. Let me just again show you the question they asked. This solely depends on my target. Okay, so a lot of you might know I just finished three competitions actually in May and April. While I was prepping, if I go hypo and I consume, let's say, 30 grams of carbs to treat that hypo, I would deduct it from my total carbs intake for the day. Would I do this now? I wouldn't do this now because I'm not even caring about my daily target, daily carbs, because I am bulking up. So I'm not cutting anymore. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're looking into losing weight, you have to take this into consideration because you have to follow the plan. But again, your health is more important than the plan. So if you exceeded the daily carbs target, then that's not a problem. It's your health. Health is more important. What you can do then is you could exercise more the next day, or you can have less carbs the next day. But health comes first, and it depends on your target. Okay. What is your opinion about taking glucophage with long-acting and short-acting insulin for type 1 diabetes, and why does the screen pop up right here? Guys, excuse me 1 second. I can't see the thing anymore. Where did the camera go? Ah, here we go. So let me again, space, send to all. That's the question. What's your opinion about taking glucophage with long-acting and short-acting insulin for type 1 diabetes? There's different views about this topic. Of course, Tamer, there's always different views about this topic. You are taking insulin from outside anyway, so you're taking artificial insulin. Why do you need a tablet that would increase the sensitivity, your sensitivity to insulin? Okay, it doesn't make sense, but it does to some people. Remember at the start of this webinar, I said there's a lot of different types of diabetes, and one of them is called double diabetes. Double diabetes is where you have type 1 diabetes, and then you get symptoms of type 2 diabetes, which is insulin resistance. So if you're type 1 diabetic and you are suffering from insulin resistance, and I'm not saying morning insulin resistance, like general hard insulin resistance, you need something to increase the sensitivity of the insulin that you're taking. If you can manage without glucophage or any medication, cool, don't take it then, because all these medications, they do give different side effects to different people. So, but if you can't, and then you need it, because again, I keep on saying it every time, our main priority in our life is to have stable blood sugar levels in range. Okay. Khalid brother. Oh, okay, let me first. There we go. Khalid brother, what are your thoughts on black seed oil, which has helped me with diet and sugar? Ibrar, please elaborate. What do you mean by that? I don't even know what that means. So sorry, guys. Okay, so next question. Hisham, I'm always hearing doctors say you should reduce your insulin daily doses to avoid the quick ups and downs reaction of blood sugar levels without saying why. If there any danger to eyes, kidney, heart, since our immune system as type 1 diabetics is feeble when you have ups and downs within the target range. Okay, so what I understood from your question is taking more insulin harmful for us? That's what I understood. Look, the more insulin you take, the more risk or the more the probability of you messing it up increases. You get what I mean? So if, for example, you take 10 units of insulin, and there's a 10% probability that you might take like a unit more or a unit less, because again, you're estimating the dose, you're estimating the food, right? It's not to the point, you're not weighing it to the point. If you're taking 20 units, that 10% will increase. It will remain 10%, but instead of being 1 unit, it's going to be 2 units. So maybe there is more risk of hypo. So I understand why they say this. Nevertheless, you are after controlled blood sugar levels. So if taking less insulin causes you to have to go through a hyperglycemia, then don't do it. Take more insulin. Simple as that. I hope this answered your question. Let me know if that is not what you're asking about. Okay, that is the same question actually. Just copied and pasted. Right. It goes up depending on what's been met. So Bobby Hussein, I'm not sure what was the answer for this. Oh yeah. Sorry guys, that was the answer for the protein. If it makes you goes hyper. So I'll just. Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling down. Right, Tamer said, let me space center. Right. During the day, some days I found insulin resistance, and in other days I found a highly sensitive to insulin. Although I doing a workout at gym, some days 6 units Apedra is sufficient for 1 sandwich. Other days 12 units is not enough for the same sandwich. Exactly what I said. You not even in different days. You can this happens in the same day, and that's why you want to try to have some sort of routine in your life. So you said that you're training. My advice would be try to train at the same time every day. Try to make a plan, like kind of understand, okay, I am normally in more insulin resistance from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I probably, instead of having the 1 to 10 insulin to carb ratio, I'm going to have a 1 to 5, okay, hypothetically. At the evening, I'm very insulin sensitive. So instead of having 1 to 10, I'm going to have 1 to 20. Okay. Apply this to different days. So you're saying, I'm saying this affects you in the same day. You're saying even in different days. So, okay, that day where you felt that you injected more or you needed more insulin, try to understand why. What did you do before? What did you do throughout the day? If another day, if what you did throughout that day is going to be replicated on another day, then know that you need more insulin. Okay, it's absolutely normal to have different insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance throughout the day. Okay, so next question. Is it possible to, okay, no, sorry, before that, there was another one. What's better, Dexcom or Libra? I shouldn't be answering this because I am, what's it called, sponsored by Dexcom right now, but I'll give you the honest opinion. Both are good. There's pros and cons. Pros of the Libra, it's small. I like the size of it. It lasts for 14 days and it's accurate. Okay. Cons of the Libra, I am clumsy. Every time I pass through a door frame, I hit it and it falls. And it costs 50 pounds. It costs 50 pounds. That's a problem. Dexcom is very sturdy. Like the way it's applied is very strong. I hit any door frame, nothing happens. It never falls. It lasts for 10 days instead of 14. So overall, it's slightly more expensive. So it will cost you here in the UK for a Dexcom, I think, 150 pounds a month. A Freestar Libra, if you're not funded, it's going to cost you 100 pounds a month. In terms of accuracy, I can't comment because everyone is different. So I'm having problems. I had my problems with both. Like one of them, I'm not going to say which one. I used to suffer from the hypo and then it multiplies me. So I was like, what the heck? What's the point of it then? So yeah, it's very dependent on you. And whoever asked that question, let me just read it again. So Nikki, look, Nikki, I'm going to do this right now because you just asked a question that I made a whole video about. Okay, and definitely you need to watch that video if you're interested in that question. So how do I copy the link? So here we go. Send to all. This is the link that you guys need to watch if you're interested to know which one is better, Dexcom, Libra, Meow Meow, or the normal blood glucose meter. Okay. Is it possible to eat carbs and have best control? Of course. That's exactly what I just answered. Guys, do you really think I could have been a bodybuilder without having 500-600 grams of carbs a day at sometimes? After my competition, I had 1,000 grams of carbs a day. Okay. Yes, you can have carbs. You just need to know how it affects you. You need to choose the smart carbs. Normally, so the general advice for anyone with diabetes, try to avoid junk food. Try to avoid refined food. Okay, try to avoid a combination of carbs and fats, right? So I mean pizza, I mean cake, I mean burgers, I mean anything that's got the 2 in excess. Why? Fats, they slow down the absorption of insulin or the carbs. So if you think that for that slice of pizza that has 30 grams of carbs, I need 3 units of insulin, oh, you're mistaken, my friend. You will need a lot more, and you will need to inject either a lot earlier or delay your injection. And it depends from person. I'm the kind of person that if I have a slice of pizza and if I inject for the pizza just how I inject for a fat-free source of carbs, my blood sugar will go over the roof and then drops again. Why? Because the fats, they delay the effect of my insulin. Okay. Some people, they have it the other way around. Fats delay the absorption of the carbs, so they go hypo and then they go hypo. So best way, to be honest, is to avoid these foods. Forever, of course not. Have it on the weekend or something, but don't have it regularly. If you have it every day, you're destroying yourself, and that is So yeah, that would be the one diet advice that I would say applies to everyone with diabetes, and of course without diabetes. Next question, Hisham. Let me space send to all. Can I get my daily carbs intake from beans, starchy carbs, instead of potatoes? Okay, instead of potatoes, oats and rice, since I'm not very sensitive to starchy carbs. So starchy carbs, Hisham, is actually the potato. Beans is legumes. Can you have the carbs from it? Yeah, of course. Yeah, beans are a good source of carbs. They're a good source of protein-ish. Just because you said this, just because you mentioned beans and carbs, people that are following a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet, make sure that you're getting all the essential amino acids from that diet, because there is no plant out there that is a complete source of protein except quinoa. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you're following a diet that you want to lose weight, without supplements, you are going to lose a lot of muscles, because any plant that has protein, they have more fats or more carbs. There isn't a plant out there or a vegetable that has more protein than other macronutrients. So yeah, I just thought about saying this. If there's anyone here that is vegan or vegetarian, be aware of this. Sir, do you have the Sir, do you have same insulin dosage and meal timing every day? Hell no. Oh my days. It's different every single second in my life. You guys, you inject for all you eat. Back in Egypt. So, right. A bit of criticism, but I understand why they do it. That some people, some doctors, what they do is that they give someone a diet plan and they give them the amount of insulin that they need for that plan, and they tell them that's it, just follow it for the rest of your life. I know that they're taking the easy route because not a lot of people will understand how to carb count and how to do the insulin to carb ratio and so on, but that's impossible. This is actually basically saying, oh, I am ill, I'm just going to accept being ill and have the same food every day, and I'm going to feel that I'm ill every second I'm going to consume that food. And the thing is, this is my whole point of doing all what I'm doing right now on social media and campaigns and collaborations and stuff like that, is I want people not to feel that they're ill. We have a condition, we don't have an illness, we have a condition, right? We need to understand that it's up to us how we deal with it. It's up to our mentality. You wanna, have the same food every day and play it safe and have the same injections every day and so on. You are gonna feel miserable. But right now, to be honest, like I'm just talking about myself, everyone is different. I eat what I want. I take my insulin. Oh crap, I went hyperglycemic. Okay, I'm going to take more insulin. Oh crap, I went hypo. Oh, I'm shaky. I'm feeling miserable. I know if I have that sweet or that drink, it's going to get sorted. After I go through that episode, okay, what happened that caused me going through a hyperglycemia? Right, so when I eat this food right now, I need more insulin moving forward. Same, I went hypo. Okay, this is how you want to deal with your life. Chill. I understand, of course, if you're a parent, you're hearing me and you're like, oh, it's not this easy. I fully understand. If you're a parent, you are definitely worried, because the thing is, with kids, they have a problem with the awareness. So they might be unaware that they are hyper. They might be unaware that they are hypo. They might lie to you about checking their blood sugar. They might lie to you about taking their insulin because they don't want it. It's a kid. I understand. If I'm 5 and you're telling me to inject every minute I eat, I don't understand it. I will be pissed. I want to be like other kids. I might be afraid of needles. So this is all understandable. What you do, so let me quickly say this because I know a lot of parents are here. What you want to do is that the main part is to talk to your kids. You want to reach to their psychology, right? So diabetes is a mental illness, by the way. So people with diabetes are more prone to get mood swings, to get mental issues. They get what's it called, diabetes burnout, which you're just pissed off completely and you stop injecting and you just you're fed up with your diabetes. Kids get that. So as a parent or a teacher or a coach, you need to reach to them. You need to talk to them. You need to show them that everything is fine. Don't ever keep on reminding them that they have diabetes. So we have something in Egypt people say, which means they say ربنا يشفيك, or I don't know. Well, ربنا يشفيك, which means hopefully God heal you. If you say this every time, like, I'm not feeling ill right now, yeah? When I go to Egypt and someone knows I have diabetes and they're like, hopefully God can heal you, or whatever they say, I'm like, you just made me feel ill. Stop it. Don't do that. And I'm an adult, right? And I'm thinking, like, imagine a kid, everywhere that they go, oh, man, you know what, hopefully you go through this illness, hopefully you don't die, oh, I know it's a chronic. Stop it. Stop talking about it, okay? I'm going to answer the next question, but first I'm going to scroll all the way down, see what people say. May God. Okay, so I'm going to go back to answering the questions from the top. Please, people that didn't get their questions answered, please bear with me. I'm just answering all of them. Right, space send to all. Are you an advocate of bulking phases? I'm currently on a slight gaining phase and everyone tells me to increase my calories more, but only from carbs. As a diabetic, will I have the same results if I keep the carbs the same and increase only fats? So, right, with bulking, there's a lot of numbers that you need to think of. So first of all, get your calories right. Let's presume that your maintenance calories is, let's say, 2,000. Add maybe 500 calories to that, 2,500, sweet. What's next? Work out the percentages of each macronutrient. Can you do this? Probably not. You need a personal trainer or a nutritionist or a dietitian to do that for you. And before continuing answering that question, guys and girls and anyone that is interested in, gaining muscles or losing weight or being healthier, invest in yourself. It's your health. Don't keep on trying stuff by yourself. Go to your local PT or your local dietitian, or reach out to an online trainer and ask for help. Pay them to help you. This is their job. Otherwise, we might as well cancel the profession. And I'm not telling you, by the way, to come to me to help you and so on. No, not. It kind of gets to me when people keep on trying stuff and it doesn't work. I'm like, if I have a car and it breaks down, am I going to take it to a mechanic or am I going to try to fix it myself? Definitely take it to a mechanic. Will it work if I fix it myself? Maybe, but it's going to take more time. And why? And that's a car. You're talking about your health. So you go to a dietitian or a nutritionist or a PT to tell you the percentages, okay? Let's presume it's let's say 30% protein, 30% fat, 40% carbs. You got your numbers right now. Now, are you going to increase your calories only from carbs? Not necessarily. I mean, you can increase it from fats, but then what are you using the carbs for? So again, it goes to your weight, your target, your muscle glycogen. You can't bulk up basically on low carbs. Put it that way, right? If you're going to do it on fats, you're not going to get the optimum results, okay? Because you're not using fats for high intensity training, okay? We use our fats for low intensity training, like walking or light jogging or swimming or stuff like that. Someone asked me how many carbs per sitting. I don't need to put that, but that's not a question. Everyone is different and depends. Sometimes I have 0 carbs. Sometimes I have 150 grams of carbs per sitting. I used to always be high and okay, now let me actually space send to all. I used to always be high and then I started taking a dose of my long acting in the morning too, and problem fixed. Well done, Bobby. That's exactly what I'm saying. We have to play around with our insulin to get the optimum results. No one can tell you how to do it or how much to take. It's trial and error. Right. How to calculate the insulin units needed if I'm getting on a keto diet or low carb diet, and you didn't continue, or what? Okay, so It's the same. It's the same as I said, just the same method that I said at the start of the webinar. That's how you calculate your insulin to carb ratio, regardless of your diet. Doesn't matter. And oh, okay, so now I might get what you mean. So how can you do it without having the carbs? No, mate. To get it right, you need to have carbs one day. You just have to have that Pepsi or whatever. Not Pepsi. I mean any source of sugar that you're confident that it has the right amount that it says. That's what I mean. And yeah, give it a go. And if you feel that it's too much, not the carbs, but if you feel that you're taking too much insulin for your keto diet, then you have to drop it, because the keto is pretty much, I mean, think of why do you even need insulin if you're on a keto diet? Because that's the argument that I get with people that are advocating for keto diet, that they think that you don't need insulin, but of course you do need insulin right here. Okay, space, send to all. What do you do if you are having too many low sugar events? I carb count to work out how much insulin I have. Too many low sugar events, it means that you're taking too much insulin. Too much insulin could be in the form of the long-acting insulin. If it's happening too many every day, it means you're taking too much long-acting insulin. So you have to drop that a bit. A carb count to work out how much insulin to have. You need to carb count. So if you're carb counting, if you're having a hypoglycemia every time after you eat, not just throughout the day while you're sitting down, it means that your insulin to carb ratio is wrong. So you need to take less insulin per 10 grams of carbs or 1 gram of carb. Okay. Again, I explained at the start of the video how to do it. Okay. Here we go. Space, send to all. Is any exercise safe when your blood sugar is high? Should I wait until back in range? So depends how high, and the best solution is to wait if you can, okay? Because when you're hyperglycemic, your body doesn't work efficiently. It doesn't work as it's meant to work, really. So you're not gaining the right benefits, okay? So your body is not, if you're lifting, for example, and normally what happens is when we lift, we damage the muscle, break it, and then we eat, and then what we eat recovers and grow the muscles. If you're going through hyperglycemia while the muscle is getting damaged, it's not going to get damaged properly. In fact, it might actually damage for you to use it as energy. So it's better to wait. But does that mean that I don't train while I'm hyper? No, I do. But my hyper, like if I'm 14, for example, 14 millimole per liter or more, if you're doing the mg per deciliter, multiply 14 by 18 to get the value that I'm talking about, I wouldn't train. I would calm down. But if my workout is light intensity cardio, so if it's walking, for example, I would, because walking will drop your blood sugars. So think smart. Think about, okay, this is something that I actually was meant to say. This is the most important tip that you're going to get today for training properly with diabetes. You got to the gym and you're going to train. You have cardio to do, and you have lifting, weightlifting or powerlifting, or just lifting weights, whatever. You get to the gym and you're borderline hypo. So you're in the normal range, but your blood sugar is like 4 or 5 millimole per liter. Are you going to do cardio? Hell no, because you're going to go hypoglycemic, and you're just going to cancel the whole purpose. You're going to stop training and start eating sugar. Your blood sugar is on the normal high range. Are you going to start lifting? Most probably, and everyone is different. Your blood sugar levels will elevate when you lift, when you do like heavy squats or heavy deadlifts. The stress hormones in the body starts getting produced and circulate. So again, no, do the cardio. Be smart. Yes, I have to say this, our blood sugar dictates what we're going to do, and that's with everything really. If I feel that I'm going to go hypo, and my partner tells me, oh Khalid, can you walk, can you help me with some bags from the car or something, I'll say no, I'm gonna go hypo. So be smart. Okay, so here you go. Favorite hypo sweets. What's my favorite hypo sweets? Everything. I don't know. I get my, so when I'm cutting, when I'm prepping, I'm dieting very hard. So when I diet for a bodybuilding competition, I train 3 times a day, and my diet is severe. So if I am to treat or avoid a hypo, it's definitely food. So a candy or something, just to kind of feel that, you know, it filled me up. I wouldn't use a drink. Now I would probably, the fastest ever item that elevates my blood sugar is a Lucozade. Full sugar Lucozade, honestly, in minutes it elevates. Everyone is different. Okay, what's your opinion about taking glucophage for type 1 patients? I already answered that. Can type 1 diabetes affect your sex life? Yep, it can, but only if it's uncontrolled. Because again, it's the same concept. Hyperglycemia will affect your your central nervous system. It would affect your ability, right, to your ability to keep up in bed, or your ability to even pump the blood, okay, to the areas that you need it. And if you're a female, it could affect your areas. If you go like hyperglycemic all the time, it could affect your areas negatively. So the conclusion of this, I mean, I can go in details, but I'm not sure if I should here. Just the conclusion of the story is uncontrolled diabetes will mess up your sex life. Controlled diabetes won't. Okay. Yeah. So, does having low insulin units in case of keto diet affect the anabolic state of insulin on body? Does having low insulin units in case of keto diet affect the anabolic state of insulin? I get what you mean. No, so it's not the amount of insulin that would affect you anabolically. It's actually what you eat, right? So if you're thinking about gaining, anabolic means building, okay? So I'm presuming, of course, that you're talking about building muscles, not building fat. If you're thinking that you're gonna build muscles on a keto diet, that's not gonna happen. Are you gonna lose weight on a keto diet? 100% yes, because you're having high fat, low carbs, low protein. So the overall calories is less. Your body's running on ketones, so the fat that you're eating is getting broken down, plus the fats in your body is getting broken down. But again, the problem is, I mean, guys, don't think that I hate keto, even though I do. But problem is, it's not beneficial, right? If you're doing keto, you're missing on fibers, you're missing on vitamins, you're missing on stuff that would help you grow, or will help you lose weight, or help you reach your target. Ask yourself the question, why do you do it in the first place? If you think this is the only way that you could get control over your blood sugar levels, that means that you are not trying enough, or you're being misguided. Change your doctor or change your GP or whatever. You need to basically follow a different plan. Follow someone that that would help you with the other health benefits. Don't go to someone that would only care about your diabetes and neglect the other health benefits, because let's face it, diabetes is a chronic condition. We're living with it for the rest of our lives, so we might as well be healthy and live our life to the fullest. Right. Next, Sarah, she said, sent to all. Does the blood glucose somehow level after the of 18? So I'm presuming after the age of 18. Did you personally see a difference? Because I can say no matter what we do with our teen son, we get unexplained spikes. So Sarah, as I said at the start of the video, there's a lot of different types of diabetes. Unexplained spike could be either you not knowing the right insulin to carb ratio, because if he's having spikes when he eats, it means you're not injecting enough insulin. Simple as that. You can play around with your short-acting insulin, you can play around with your long-acting insulin, but also he might be suffering from another type of diabetes. He might be having brittle diabetes. Brittle diabetes is where you have extremely hyperglycemic readings and then unexplainable hypoglycemic readings. Brittle diabetes is very hard to control. You might have that. The only way to control this is to have a CGM, to have something to track the trend of your blood sugar. You could have double diabetes, the one that I explained earlier, where you could have he might need to take the type 1 medication, which is insulin, and the type 2 medication, which is the metformin or whatever, anything that would increase the sensitivity of insulin. Does it get better after you're 18? It will change over time, right? Not better, not worse, but it will keep on changing. That's the thing. And also, he's a teen, right? So I'll tell you this: teenagers are stubborn, as I said. They would get bored of the medical talk. They would get bored of anything that isn't interesting. What you want to do to motivate him, so that I think I answered the unexplained spike, but I want to say that to motivate kids or teens, what you want to do is show them role models. I'm telling you, this is what works. If you keep on talking insulin and blood sugar and all that stuff in front of them, it's uninteresting, it's boring. I'm a teen, I want to have fun, I want to go out with my friends, I want to go parties and stuff like that. But if you show them someone that, like if you show them like a professional boxer or a bodybuilder or not even sports, like someone that is successful in their life having type 1 diabetes, they might think that, you know what, actually this is encouraging. I need to do this. I need to be like that person. So this is what your approach is. Look for role models and show it to them. Guys, do you like my diabetes top, by the way? So if you didn't already, I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram. If anyone wants one, just go comment on the post. And obviously, it's getting sold on Diabetes Academy as well, just to let you know. So, so John, how can I become a diabetes specialist so I can help others? So John, I don't know where you're from. It differs from country to another. But in UK, you either need to be a physician or a nurse to be able to be qualified, to be certified, basically, to teach people with diabetes, even though I believe that a lot of people that have diabetes, they are already qualified, just having the condition. Another route to take, which is long as well, is to start to take level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 PT, and then you do another course called Diabetes and Obesity Specialty course, and that would make you a specialist, and that would allow you to talk and teach others. Right, sorry, I'm just seeing the notifications on here, just looking at the time. Okay, cool. Anyway, how long creatine would you recommend for type 1 diabetic? Okay, so you mean how much creatine? It doesn't make any difference whether you have diabetes or not, unless you have a kidney problem or a liver problem. So just as regardless if you have diabetes or not. Uncontrolled diabetes would cause issues in your organs, including your kidney, including your liver, right? But again, what we're saying right here is diabetes is not meant to be uncontrolled. So the assumption here is that your diabetes is somehow controlled, or at least you're trying. Creatine doesn't have any bad effects. In fact, creatine is one of the primary supplements, guys, that you would take if you're working out. So how much? I take 5 grams a day. That's what I do. That's it. Put it with my protein shake. I think I answered this one already. The one with the doctors. Yeah, I answered this. Okay, Kathy. Here we go. Space Central. If you go hypo, do you leave exercise for the day? Depends how severe the hypo is. No, sometimes I go hypo, I stop exercising, I have my sugar, I sit down at the gym, and everyone in the gym knows that I have diabetes. And once I recover, bang on, straight away. Okay, this is me. This is my opinion. What does the health institution recommend? They say if you go hypo, you can't train 24 hours afterwards because there is more probability they're going to go hypo again. I fully disagree with this. I disagree with a lot of stuff that is medically provided, to be honest with you. But that's me. That's only my opinion. So definitely, yeah, I can. But if it's a severe one, if it's a bad one, then no, because I won't be able to train. You have to think also. You have to think about how efficient your workout is going to be. So if you're training and you're feeling weak, you might as well take the day off and just come back another day and smash it. What about B2 vitamin? Okay, what about B12 vitamins? Do we need to take it daily as well? Yes, Sarah. Yeah, vitamin B is very important. So read the label of your multivitamins, see how much vitamin B gives you. If it's not enough, and most probably it's not going to be enough actually, yeah, take it as a surplus. All right, Hisham, do you have eye problems due to diabetes? So right now, thankfully I don't, but I remember before getting diagnosed, my eyesight was blurry and I ended up wearing glasses. Is it a coincidence that I got diagnosed and I started wearing glasses, or diabetes actually caused that? Either way, it doesn't matter. Diabetes would affect your eyes if it's uncontrolled. I know people that went one eye blind. So I'm not trying to scare you, but you need to understand that the complications of diabetes is big, and there is no point at all of you to ignore your blood sugar levels. Okay? Ask qualified people, ask people with experience, do your own education, search online. Don't take the info from your doctor or from the person that is helping you, and that's it. Even if it's me, if I'm telling you something right now, write it down and then go online and research it and then try it on yourself. If it worked, perfect. If it didn't, it's not for you. All right, Tamer, space into. I'm doing workout in the gym since 11 years just to gain muscle and be in shape. I found to be walking half-hour day or jogging is better than workout. Is that right? They are different. So the best exercise to lower your blood sugar is walking, hands down. That's for everyone. This is the only thing that is not different from one person to another. Why? Because with walking, you're burning calories, hence you're burning sugar in your blood, but also it's so low intensity that it doesn't produce any stress on your body, right? Working out in the gym to gain muscle, so I'm presuming lifting weights, this is not low intensity, that's high intensity. When you hold a dumbbell, and you raise it and drop it, and you raise it and you drop it, this is an anaerobic exercise. So it would cause a lot of stress in your body. So basically, they're not the same. So you can't really compare them. Right, Hisham said, is there a danger of having kidney problem if we take more than 40 grams of protein per meal since our immune system is not strong enough? No, not at all. What does the immunity got to do with the protein that you're having? Protein is good. Your immunity is weak against stuff that would attack your body. If you get what I mean? So we're more prone to having a flu, for example, or not more prone. If we get a flu, we might suffer more than someone that doesn't have diabetes, or it might take longer to recover from. Okay, but protein, again, if you have a kidney problem, then that's the case. That's different. But for a normal person, no, 40 grams is fine. Not a big deal. Tamer, when I use Meow Meow 2, it's difficult to scan by phone the sensor while using Libra 2 and Meow Meow 2. Disconnected 1 or 2 times a day, so I had to unbind it, then again connect. Is that common? I didn't use it for long, the Meow Meow 2 and the Libra 2, and it wasn't common with me. I used X-Drip. So if you're using that Tomato app, maybe change it to X-Drip. So yeah, answer to the question, it wasn't common with me, no. Right. How to bolus for protein and carbs together? Different. I said it already. Everyone is different. Some people, they don't need any bolusing for protein. Some people do. Again, if protein elevates your blood sugar, then you're going to do the same test of the carbs, the insulin to carb ratio, but it's going to be an insulin to protein ratio. So again, you're going to sit down in the afternoon, not in the morning. And I'm not sure if I said why not in the morning, but again, because of the stress hormones in the body. In the afternoon, blood sugar is in range. Have 1 scoop of whey protein or a weighed piece of chicken breast or a fish, but you know the weight of it. And you're gonna take insulin, take like 2 units or whatever you normally take, and just check how much you need, how and modify it. It's the same concept really. 1 second. What's your main complex carbs each week? E.g., what's your main complex carb each week? For example, rice, potato. I try to eat spelt quinoa, amaranth, sweet potato, yam, plantain. Are these good carbs for weight gain? Yes, Daniel, all what you said are good carbs for weight gain. My complex carbs is different, but it's not sweet potato, even though I love sweet potato. But problem is it elevates my blood sugar. It's crazy. Like 100 grams of sweet potato, I would probably need double the dose as opposed to 100 grams of potatoes. Why? What's the explanation for this? I have no clue. Sweet potatoes and cereal. These are the two foods that I try not to have ever, pretty much. And it's funny, yeah, because cereal I would understand, it's full of refined sugars. Sweet potato is such a good source of complex carbs, but it just happens to me. It doesn't happen to a lot of people. And everyone, by the way, will have a specific food that there is an unexplainable reaction to. Which protein powder would you recommend? Oh, okay, let me just, here we go. Well, actually, Bobby left, it says, so there's no point of answering this. Let me just go down. That's a long one. Let's see what that says. What is the best and quick way to increase sugar while hypoglycemia? Eat normal sugar or medical glucose, which is sold in pharmacies. Sometimes juice, 15 grams of sugar doesn't increase my blood sugar like taking 15 grams of plain sugar. I used to have one sandwich without taking insulin before sleep to maintain hypoglycemia if I have low sugar at night. So basically the sugar with the highest glycemic index. So it could be juice, as you said. It could be, so the medical tablets that you mentioned are just glucose tablets. So they're just fast-acting glucose tablets. It could be sweets. For me, it's Lucozade. It's a fizzy drink. It's like a Pepsi, like a Coca-Cola. So it depends on you. If it doesn't work for you, if the juice doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work. Then juice is not the best thing for you to have. But definitely something that is solely carbs, not something that doesn't have fat. That's what you need. So not chocolate, for example. Okay. Next question. Can I get to a level of muscle mass with good carb intake and then switch to keto diet and keep the same shape? I don't see why would you do this, and I don't think so. No, that's because with the keto, I mean, with the muscle mass, you need to maintain, you need to work and eat to maintain workouts and eat to maintain the mass that you gained. Again, with the keto is actually made for epilepsy. It's a medical diet. Okay, people use it to lose weight. Very hard to use it to gain or maintain huge muscle mass. Okay. Do you believe that diabetes is genetic transferred? Not necessarily. So it depends on what type are you talking about. But there is a gene mutation definitely when it comes to some types, like the MODY diabetes, MODY. Type 1 diabetes is believed to have some sort of genetic impact, like impacted by genes in a way. Even type 2 diabetes, you might inherit insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is not solely down to you being obese or being inactive. Some people, they genetically, it runs in the family that they're just insulin resistant. So eventually, while they age, they get type 2 diabetes. John said, oh, yeah. Speaking of Libra, do you have a problem on the exercises that involve the triceps? It pinches when I have a pump and it's really frustrating. Any suggestions? I used to, I don't anymore, especially with my insulin pump, my Omnipod. I used to be able to wear it on my arm. Then I couldn't wear it on my arm. Then I managed to wear it on my arm, and now I couldn't wear it on my arm again. Libra, when I wore it, so Libra and Dexcom, actually, I know I didn't have any problems when I flex or get a pump. And the needle so tiny inside, so you might need to change the location. If you think that you can only wear it on your arms, you're wrong. Go on my YouTube. I made a video comparing the accuracy of it wearing it on my arm to me wearing it on my core. So and you're gonna be surprised. So yeah, you can do that. How to get confident with type 1 diabetes. Good one. How to get confident with type 1 diabetes. I said at the start, type 1 diabetes isn't anyone's problem, okay? It's no one's fault. No one is responsible for it. So first of all, you don't need to be ashamed or embarrassed, okay? How to get confident with it is to accept it. So you gotta accept it. You gotta accept that I have type 1 diabetes. I've got a broken pancreas. I'm gonna be injecting insulin for the rest of my life. Done. Now, once you pass this acceptance phase, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't care about what people say. In fact, you guys know, yeah, that I show off my diabetes. Like I can easily wear my Dexcom on my glutes or legs, but I don't actually want to show it. And that's the kind of mentality that I want people to have, is that, of course, if you don't want to show it, that's up to you. If you want to hide it, that's up to you. Nothing is wrong with that. It's personal preference. But you shouldn't hide it for the reason that you're not confident. Right? You hide it because you don't want attention, you don't want people to stare at you, you don't want people to talk to you about it. Fair enough. But you got to be confident, okay? That's a must. So acceptance, you have to accept it. You have to understand that it would require you to take insulin in public. It would require you to do a blood glucose test in public. You will have challenges that people don't have, and in the end, you're gonna say, you know what, fuck it, you don't care. Just it is what it is. Doesn't matter. Okay. What's your target range? 4 to 8 millimole per liter, just like everyone else. That's my target range. Right. Can you name some good role models? I now know you and Muhammad Ali, the boxer. This is funny, Raika, because I'm actually the nutritionist for Muhammad Ali. So it's funny that you brought us both together. So there is a sprinter that I know. There is another bodybuilder that I know. There is a footballer, like you know Real Madrid's football player Nacho. He's got type 1 diabetes. And sprinter's called Jessica. I can get the Instagram handles. You know what? If you're following me on Instagram, please message me and I will send you all the profiles of them. Okay. But there's a baseball player, there's an American football player, there's a rugby player. In every sport, there's someone that has type 1 diabetes. Okay. There we go. Oh my God. The Libra 3 will be launched soon. Did I hear anything about it? No, actually, I didn't. I have no idea. I don't know what is it going to be. You see, one thing that pisses me off from the Libra 2, that's why I accepted being, sponsored and changing to Dexcom, is it tells you that you're going hyper or hypoglycemic. Okay, therefore it knows the value, but it doesn't tell you, and that pissed me off big time. Like, why, if you're telling me on my phone that I'm hyperglycemic, why do I have to unlock my phone and then go and tap and then look? Just tell me the value. So probably 3 is going to be like that, maybe. Right, I think so. We've got 10 more minutes left, guys. If you have any questions, ram it in. It's got to finish in 10 minutes. Okay. Hisham said, is it necessary to keep insulin cold? I found it hard to go out with friends and keeping it with me. Hisham, I'm presuming that you're from Egypt. In summer, it gets tough. I understand that. So there is always when I go to Egypt in summer, there is a small, very small, like it's like the pen size fridge pack, it's called, I think. That all you need to do is, it's got like crystals inside. All you need to do is to wet it, and then the crystals expands, and then it's very cold from inside, and you can actually put it in your pocket. That's how small it is. That's what I use. Do you normally need to keep it in the cold? I wouldn't say cold. I would say room temperature. So my insulin here is room temperature. Right now it's like 25 degrees in UK, and I just put it out. So that's no problem. But I understand in Egypt or countries where it gets over 40 degrees, yeah, it's, you're risking denaturing the insulin. Okay, another question, another long one, might be the last one. What does it say? Over time, it becomes difficult to inject needles into the skin in the abdomen, arm, thighs without any obvious signs. Sometimes I take insulin, but it's not absorbed or entered under the skin due to the large number of injections inside or around the area. Are there any tips to improve subcutaneous insulin absorption? First and main tip is to alternate the areas. So you've got your cores, you've got any area that has got fat inside, whether it's your arm, legs, glutes, core, anywhere that has fat, you can inject your insulin in. Improving the subcutaneous injection, the absorption, it's only done by eliminating any lumps that you have. There's something called lipohypertrophy that some people that inject in the same area and inject a lot of insulin in the same area suffer from. It's basically a lump of fat that gets created in under the skin. If you inject in this lump of fat, your insulin might not even get absorbed. It's going to be very slow. Like it's going to get absorbed very slowly, as you say. So if you feel anything, don't inject there. Keep on alternating and change your needles. That's all that can be said, really. Okay, how long we've got left? Still 10 minutes. Fine. Okay, so I can see Sarah. Last question. I can see it here. So guys, let's just wait for this question because I'm going to say something at the end. How to avoid type 1 diabetes long-term complications, eye vision, feet problem, etc. I mean, what are the ranges for us to call a controllable diabetes? Is it A1C less than 7%? Or complications would happen anyway? Okay, this is one question. Complications would happen anyway? No, complications is not going to happen anyway. Sorry, guys. I just realized that I didn't drink a sip of water. Complication isn't going to happen anyway, Sarah. I know that you're a parent and you're worried. As I said at the start of the video, blood sugar controlled, no complications, okay? Not because you're diabetes, it means that you're going to die early, okay? There are people with diabetes that are over 100 years old, okay? And doesn't mean that you're going to get eyesight, doesn't mean you're going to get feet problems. How to avoid, see, I like what you said, how to avoid long-term complications, not how to treat it. That's the key. Preventing, not treating. If you prevent the complications from the start, then happy days. It's a lot easier to deal with anything. But if you get the complications and then now you want to fix the problem, now you want to try to get your blood sugar in control, nightmare. That's the nightmare. So no, complications not going to happen anyway. What's your Hb1c range? If I tell you a range, it might make you stop trying to improve. Okay, so it's not a range. Hb1c 5% or 48 or under 48, and that's the other units, is considered for someone that is sorry, I can't speak anymore. Is acceptable for someone that doesn't have diabetes. Okay, so we want to reach there. Does it mean that we are going to reach there? No, but we want to drop our Hb1c to 5%. If you dropped it to 6%, is that bad? No, that's perfect, because it's very hard for someone with diabetes to drop it to 5%. 7%, not bad still. The lower the better. That's all it takes. If you're 11%, if you're 14%, if you're 20%, then you have to consider. But anyway, it's a circle. Okay, better blood glucose control, which is your priority, as I said, is gonna lower your Hb1c. So just focus on your blood sugar control. Your Hb1c is gonna lower. Every time it drops by 0.1%, I want you to celebrate with your kid. You want to show him that he's achieved something, even if it dropped from 15 to 14. That's an achievement. Okay. Any tips, any advice for parents? As I said, I think I said it already, is psychology. Don't keep on saying the network connection may be too slow, support cameras to improve, turn off webcams. No, ignore. I don't know, a weird message just showed up. Support them psychologically. Don't remind them that they are ill. Don't even use the word illness. Words are very powerful, okay? Diabetes is not an illness, it's a condition. Maybe he doesn't want to be labeled as diabetic. He's a person with diabetes. He's not suffering from diabetes. He has diabetes. Oh, you can't eat this because you have diabetes. No, you can eat diabetes and you need to inject for it. And that's the fact, right? You gotta show them that if they are achieving something great all the time. So if they pass their school, if they pass their exam, for example, wow, you just passed your test. You did that while you are, while you're having a 24/7 job, which is diabetes. So well done to you. Your reward means a lot more than others. Okay, so it's the psychology. Plus, show them role models. No boring talk. Just look, if he's interested in building a physique, if he's interested in sports, then show them a sports person that is doing well having type 1 diabetes. Same with any other profession or career, okay? Right, there is a last question here from Daniel. Let me go to it. Actually, there's more questions. Okay, so Daniel. I am 53 years of age. I'm in great shape, having type 1 diabetes since 1979. I'm 41 years in with a wealth experience. Wow, Daniel is very experienced right here. I find the white sweet potato are very sweet. They're a handle with caution carb. Aldi in UK sell multi-packs that are not sweet. Different times of them maturing change the starch in it. I'm sure there are sweet potatoes for you that are lower glycemic index. There is a large variety. Thanks for your talk, has been. Oh, Daniel, thank you very much. I thought it's a question, that's why I've been focusing. Thank you very much. Yeah, I understand. I've tried a lot, but there is something in sweet potatoes. Whether I get buy it from a supermarket or have it outside or have it in Egypt or have it in England, it messes up my blood sugar levels. I don't know why, and because it's that one food, I wasn't bothered to question it. Like, it's easy not to have one food. That's not a problem. But if it happened to all starchy foods, for example, oh, definitely I would be sorting it out. But thank you so much, mate, for the advice. And you're welcome, Sarah. So, guys, it's been 2 hours. I think I answered all. I didn't get any time to answer these questions, which people ask me on Facebook and Instagram and private messages. But again, I don't know if these people are actually watching, because I had the maximum we had is 20 something, and I think over 70 people registered. So you, as I said, it's your day today, right? I hope that you benefited from this. Okay. I hope it's helped you. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. And again, as I said, if you ever need individual help, I do offer these services. It's not an advertisement, but again, it's just because, as I wrote in one of the posts, that some people, I see the difference with my clients. I see people that are suffering so bad from hyperglycemia constantly, and they're not progressing. And the only way for them to progress is to be in contact with someone that has diabetes. So whether you're trainer or nutritionist or dietitian have type 1 diabetes or not, that makes a big difference, okay? So thank you, Sarah, Reika, Alex, Tamer, John, Katie, Pavel, Daniel. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up. And yeah, if you have any questions, I think you all have my Instagram. Just send me a message. Right. Take care, peeps. And okay, did I say that I'm gonna share a link with you? I think. Who did I say? Oh, sorry. Is the Dexcom, is the Libra in the core? So just go on my YouTube and channel, and you'll find it. And guys, sign up to Diabetes Academy, because all my content is there. And sign up to the subscribe to the YouTube as well, because any video that I make is there. Okay. Take care. Peace out. And I don't know how to close this right now. I really don't. I think we're going to be here for a while, guys. If you want to leave, just leave. I should have used Zoom, I swear. Okay, this is camera off, I think. خلاص بقى. Oh, exit, leave webinar. Okay, bye, guys. I got it. Yeah, Tia, I'm never using this app again. Honestly, it's my bad. But again, if I use Zoom, it would have been only 40 minutes. Right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.